Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Shop with Russ. How's everybody doing tonight out there in the chat? We have Aussie Man, who's always out there. Donna's Wood Art, Rick St. Louis, James Parker, Michelle Marcoux, Leo Stager, Dixon Hoffman. What are you doing out there, Dixon?
Trolling.
Trying to confuse them.
Yeah, Donna's Wood Art, which is Donna Presley.
Hey, Donna.
And I got something to show you, Donna, by the way, here in just a few minutes. Dan Inge from Dan Inge Woodworking. All those people are already out there in the chat. And some of them have been out there since a little after 7. So I appreciate y'all being out there and waiting on us. And like I said, I hope everybody's doing good. Tonight we have Becky, and Becky, you'll be last. Everybody else will introduce themselves, and then you'll be last because you're the guest. But I was telling the guys earlier that few minutes. Dan Inge from Dan Inge. All right, we got a feedback here somewhere.
Somebody's got their Facebook open or something.
Yep.
Jimbo.
But anyway, I found it last Saturday. As y'all know, I thought I had a sinus infection. Well, I didn't get any better by Monday, and so I went to the doctor, and they naturally do a COVID test. Well, guess what? I had COVID. So this would be the second time that I've had COVID. So I know how I got this one. My son was sick last week with COVID, and he needed some help. He's by himself. And so I went over there and took some stuff to him and stayed there with him for a little while. So I pretty well exposed myself to it. And this one's obviously, we had the one before. They have so many variants. I don't know that this is supposedly the Omicron variant, the one that we got this time. So, but I was sick Sunday and Monday. Well, I started Saturday with like sniffles and cough. Then I was sick Sunday and Monday. By Tuesday, I was feeling better. And then lo and behold, Tuesday, Wednesday, my wife got it. So we both been kind of sick.
It's really contagious.
Yeah. The Omicron apparently is, because I got COVID first, me and my wife. Then my daughter Brandy got COVID. I went and took care of her because she's single. My daughter Ashley got it and her family. We've been over there helping them. My daughter Amber got it. I was over at her house when she had it. And so I've been around it and never got it again. So I was like, when I went over to help Cameron, I'm like, I've been around this stuff before. It doesn't scare me. Lo and behold, 2 days later, I'm sick with it. So, but this one was more like a cold. It was all in my sinuses, and I had a little cough and congestion, but I never run a fever, but it was more like a cold. But that's what I ended up having. So it was your the old COVID-19 or COVID, whatever you want to call it, coronavirus. So, but yeah, before we go any further, let me talk about my wonderful sponsors. And they are Devobel Technologies for web design, development, hosting. Visit devobel.com. FastCap, innovative products for the professional woodworker. Go to fastcap.com. Rockler, 60 years in woodworking. Create with confidence. Visit rockler.com. Bearwood Supply Company, your best choice for hard-to-find woodworking supplies. Go to bearwood.com. Clean Sport, the sanding specialist. Woodworkingshop.com. As Seiko, the scroll saw specialist. Seiko.com.
16 seconds.
16 seconds.
Yeah.
Good timing. So get that out of the way. And before I let everybody introduce themselves, Donna, if you're out there, Donna Presley, look, you inspired me. Yep, you inspired me to make this. After I seen yours here that you posted on Facebook a few weeks ago, I decided to make one of these, Donna. So, yep, and I'm going to use it on the first person tonight. Yep, I'm gonna aim it at them, but yeah. They were asking this part up here on yours. I don't know if yours comes off, Donna, but this one does normally, but it was a little loose, so I glued it on there because I was afraid I was going to lose it. So, but other than that, yeah, I got one of these. And then for everybody, I've was messing around today with my new CNC and made this. I'm very pleased with it. This is just MDF that I sealed with some lacquer. I tried doing the tape thing, but the tape come off. But yeah, turned out very, very good, very, very detailed. I'm very happy and proud of it. So, but yeah, I picked up my CNC on Wednesday. It came in Tuesday. The company notified me I could pick it up Wednesday. I went and picked it up and been messing around with it this week. So let's go down the list. Jim, tell us where we can find you.
Jim from Driveway Workshop. I've got my wife Glenna with me here tonight because she knows more about Becky's channel than Becky does. She watches it so much. And just look at I mean, I watch your channel too, Becky, and I like watching the episode where Keith does his, seam rippers and stuff like that. And looking forward to talking to you guys.
Yeah. Dixon.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dixon Hoffman. You can find me at hoffmansignsandDecals.com.
Donald.
Let me find the unmute button. I'm Donald Matthews from Donald Vlogifies Wood Shop on YouTube, my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You'll also find her on my YouTube channel, and I've got a website called rednecknowowl.com.
Great. Paul.
Paul Corliss from Paul's Messy Workshop. You can find me on YouTube or Instagram or here on Saturday evenings.
Mr. Chris.
Hey, gang, Chris here at the Old Cranky Workshop. You can find me on YouTube and Facebook because I'm too lazy to bother with the other platforms. And you'll find me down at the pub a lot since St. Patrick's Month is coming up.
Oh, yeah.
40 days left. 40 days left.
Yep.
Countdown.
Two things real quick. Deanna Rego. You know who that is, Becky?
No. I've got 43,000 subscribers. Don't put me on the spot.
Say yes.
You don't know every single one of them?
Yeah. You don't. But anyway, they said hi. So apparently they said hi, Becky and Keith. So apparently they think you know.
Hi.
Okay. And then also we have 8 minutes into the show and we've hit over 100 chats. So that's really great. 8 minutes in and we're already over 100 chats. So
you don't know my viewers. They are incredibly loyal and they're wonderful. They're great viewers. They definitely.
Well, I thought you were going to say they're really crazy ass people, but it's okay. They can be wonderful. Anyway, and then last but not least, Al, tell us where we can find you.
Al Forte, Kilroy 79763. You can find me on YouTube as Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop, or Kilroy 79763 on Twitch. 2 p.m. on Sundays. I've been doing some models lately, 3D printing. And Donna, you inspired me too. I had a couple of these sitting around. I know Donna knows what these are. And last Sunday, I ended up painting this one, which I'm actually really happy with the way it turned out. It's not even finished yet. I don't have all the golden stuff detailed, but I started working on this thing, Donna, because I saw yours likewise. Anyway, thanks. Great to be here, guys, and can't wait to see the rest of the show.
Is that the Serenity ship?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. The Serenity ship.
Yep.
And the irony is I've had these, the two little ones, and the big one, I've had them for like 3 years. Just
now got around to painting.
Yeah, I've been doing some painting lately. Let's put it that way. Now, if I could only get the big stuff painted, I'd be happier. But anyway, at least it's primed.
All right. Hello, Becky and Keith. How y'all doing?
We're good.
Doing great.
Yeah.
Doing great.
Awesome.
Thank you very much for having us. This is going to be a lot of fun. We've been looking forward to it ever since the invite came.
We have a lot of fun. Trust me, we have a lot of fun on here, and we normally have a lot of questions. And our panel also has questions. They're probably going to end up asking you. Tell everybody a little bit about your channel and about where they can see you. Like if you're on Twitch or Instagram and all that, tell us where we can find you.
So I am Power Tools with Thread everywhere. I'm on YouTube. I'm on, we have a private Facebook group with over 15,000 members on it. And I've got, just went over a few minutes ago, 43,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I am on Instagram, but I'm just starting to get savvy with that platform, and there's a lot to it that I don't understand or don't use, and so and my blog, yeah, the original powertoolswiththread.com is my blog, and I started that back in 2015. Is that right? Maybe earlier. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Cool.
So, and then this is my husband Keith. And he is an integral part of Power Tools with Thread because my amazing sewing studio, and he did a lot of the furniture that's in here for me. And we have a store site, powertoolswiththreadstore.com, where we sell custom seam rippers and stiletto combos. And a lot of people go, what is that? But he spins those on a lathe out in the garage. And it just has kind of grown t-shirts and coffee mugs and decals and just all kinds of stuff. So we're going to do
and we can show and tell.
Show and tell, yeah. So this is one of those seam rippers right here. I'll use this one.
Big. Yeah.
We've got all different colors. This is a copper one right here. And he's got a couple of grooves in the side of it. And these are really nice because it on one end it's got a stiletto, or you could E, but it's got a stiletto, and you tuck it away inside when you are not using it. And a stiletto is for when you're trying to get. Well, let me back up and start by saying my channel is all about quilting and machine embroidery for the most part. And so when you're trying to get fabric under the presser foot, a stiletto is helpful so you don't get your finger under there. And then the other side is a stainless steel seam ripper, and it goes in like this. And these things are incredible. You can just hold the fabric and just right through it. It's like a knife, hot knife through butter. And they're nice for people with arthritis in their hands. And so they've got some heft to them. And he puts grooves in them. I think you can see they're kind of grooved. And so they're great. They feel really good in your hand. And how many of these have you made and sold?
Basically, I make about 1,000 per year. So,
right.
And they're done by hand, not by machine.
Yeah, we had somebody approach us about making them by machine, and he said, no, that's not what I want to do. So, but a friend of mine actually gave me one that
Whoop, they locked up.
Oh.
We had this problem just a little bit ago in the pre-show. They'll be back. I'll just give them a few minutes. They said we all disappeared. Well, she didn't disappear on us. She's still there, and her mouth's open. But yeah, she'll be back.
That's a flattering place to stop. Okay.
Okay. Yep. So can you hear me when that thing is black, screen is black, and it's spinning? No, you cannot.
No.
Okay.
No.
Right.
But whatever position your mouth is in.
Oh no! That happens on YouTube all the time.
Yeah. Yep, your mouth was open and nothing was coming out, and I said, "Oh, I think she's locked up."
I love technology. Love it. Love
it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
you gotta love it.
But you know, we just started. Well, a friend of mine gave me one of those seam rippers that she had got online, and when she did, first thing he said, he says, "I can make those." And so he went out into the shop and started making them. And yeah, we cannot keep them in stock pretty much. And then he also made me a ruler rack back here. There's different rulers that quilters use, and these are cutting rulers. And my son got in the business as well. He's a pastor in Colorado Springs. He started making ruler racks based on Keith's design, and we can't keep those in stock either. So it's really something. It's a wonderful thing. The business, the channel got so big that I retired from my federal civil service job, and I'm 8 to 10 hours a day, 7 days a week in here, working all the time, loving every single minute of it.
I'm not only the manufacturing person, but I'm also the bus driver.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, there's another online quilter. Her name is Anna, and she has a channel called Quilt Roadies, and she's up in Oregon. And I was watching her, and she would take her camera around to different quilt shops. And this was a long time ago. I told Keith, I said, I'd love to do that. And he said, can I get a bus? And I said, of course you can get a bus. He goes, make me a bus driver hat. So, yeah, we bought a motorhome, and we just started going around. We travel, we go to different quilt shops, and I love being able to promote the small business and help them out, especially during COVID, because a lot of them didn't make it. So if there's anything I can do to help promote their channel, I definitely try to do that. So we've got 2 weeks, I think, and we're going to Brenham to a juried quilt show, and I'll take my camera and go around in there. That'll be the second time we've done that one. And it just helps to promote the arts and stitching, and it's great. We absolutely love it.
Cool. I'm going to ask everybody to mute themselves for right now because we're getting an echo.
Sounds like a TV in the background or something.
Yeah. So I don't know where it's coming from, but if you need, and it stopped. Well, we're going to see if it comes from you because I got a question for you to answer. You're right about those, the seam rippers and things, because 2 things, I've made some for my wife, and also my wife, she doesn't quilt, but she sews. And she had some, matter of fact, they work great in the shop too. She would always go like, where's my seam ripper? And I go, I don't know. I ain't seen it.
No.
I have no clue where it's at, but they work great in the shop. But anyway, but the ones that you buy like from, the stores or whatever, they're very flimsy. They don't have that feel. And so you're so right when you say that the ones he makes, I can look at those and tell they've got a nice feel. They've got a solid feel to them. And actually the stiletto and the other end, the seam ripper end, are a lot better quality material than the ones you buy from like Walmart or whatever. So.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Now, do you make your own blanks, Keith, or do you buy the blanks already?
I buy the blanks already from Penn State.
Right.
And then just cut them down.
Yeah, just cut them down. Yeah. But still,
I don't have time to make that many.
Yeah. But still, like I said, the heaviness, the quality of it is 10 times better than anything that you can buy from the store.
Yeah, one of the things, one of the deficits is, they roll off the table. And then the other thing, the first thing, we listen to our customers. I had to put 2 grooves in there so they complained. They didn't know which end they were getting because it looked. So I just put 2 grooves. When I build them, I put the stiletto in there. But that way the ladies or gentlemen know which end they're going to be pulling out because of the 2 grooves at the very end.
Right.
It's hard to see.
Yeah, he uses a gouge to put those in. And then one of my viewers, let me see. One of my viewers recommended, Marilyn, she said that she puts, this is called a wonder clip. And these are used by quilters all the time. She just puts a wonder clip on the end she's not using. and that keeps it from rolling off the table because they're heavy and they're dangerous when they roll, when they fall. And so this little wonder clip, it actually changed our business process because we now ship every one of these out with a clip and a little note that says to leave the clip on the end that you're not using so that your ripper will not roll off the table. So I'm glad we did that because the ability for us to get a new seam ripper replacement ends, they're out. We aren't able to get them. So I'm glad people are not having them roll around anymore.
Well, not only that, but I would imagine that hurts if it goes straight into your foot.
You would think, yes. And then another really
right.
good seller that's been working well for us is the necklace. And this is the same blank, but it's just smaller. So it's a little bit smaller. These are great for long armors. So Glenna would understand completely. You wear it when you're working at the machine, and it, it has the same thing where you can tuck it away when you don't need it. But what's really nice about this is it's got a rare earth magnet on it that is very strong. So this just stays there. You can pull it off. You can go back. You can work right at the machine, and then it just, pops right back in there just like that. And it's wonderful. I use it. I was using it today, but I wear it every time I'm at the long arm, and it's great. So when we do the necklaces, we can't keep them in stock. It's crazy. So it's great. It's great. Yeah. So that has been really good for us. And then a lot of my viewers, they want the T-shirts, and these things came about because people wanted them. They were like, do you have any T-shirts? Do you have coffee mugs? Do you have blah, 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 blah. So we just started carrying that stuff in our store site. But so that's kind of a side to the channel itself. The channel itself is really about project. I guess it's kind of about enthusiasm, about stitching. I think that people, ours is a lonely craft, even when there is not a pandemic going on. And when you find somebody on YouTube who's showing you new fabrics and showing you new things to do, and the majority of my viewers are, these ladies will go out, and gentlemen will go out and buy a $15,000 sewing and embroidery machine combo, like Darla, the Luminaire, the brother Luminaire. And they get it home, and she knows how to use the sewing part of it, but the embroidery piece of it, if you've never done it before, it's incredibly intimidating. And Keith got me a little brother PE 770 years and years ago. It's just a little bitty machine, and that's what I cut my teeth on. And now I'm up to a big multi-needle and the Luminaire. But so what I do is I take the Air Force taught me how to be an instructor. And so I start people with baby steps and say, here's how you do this. Here's how you thread it. Look in your book, do all of this. And Jim, you're laughing. You know what the Air Force teaches you, baby steps from the very beginning. And once you get, it's okay to make a mistake. And if I make a mistake, I leave it in the video, because I'm a believer that if you make a mistake, which you're going to do, let me show you how to fix it. You don't have to throw away your project. You can certainly fix it. And I think just having that in your arsenal of knowledge that, if you get a big bird's nest, well, that's not a big deal. You can fix it, and people watch and rewatch and watch. And I can't tell you how many spouses say, every morning I get up and there you are on my TV. Yep, Jim.
There you go.
Right, right.
Sully's mom is out there in the chat, and she says she owns several of your seam ripper stilettos. Somebody was asking, Keith, what kind of lathe do you have?
I'm just using the mini jet.
Mini jet.
I actually have two of them. I take one down the coast thinking I was going to go down there, but I seem to drink more beer and go fishing more than
That's my
spinning
boy.
Nothing wrong with that. Sounds fine to me. Right, Chris?
Working for me.
Doris Seaman says, hi, Becky and Keith from Florida. And she obviously owns one of your seam rippers because she says it's fabulous.
Yeah,
So-
his seam rippers have gone all over the world. They're in Australia and New Zealand and South Africa and Switzerland and, of course, Alaska. I think every state we've shipped them out. Puerto Rico, you name it. They're England, Germany. They're everywhere. It's incredible that his seam rippers are all over the world. It's amazing. So yeah, it's been a wonderful thing. My viewers are definitely a blessing to us for sure.
Yeah, we have people that watch the show all over the world. Aussie Man is from Australia, and we have people from France, Spain, Ireland, Great Britain, just all
Canada?
over. So.
Canada?
Oh, one thing
Canada.
I forgot to do earlier, and that is don't forget to give a thumbs up for the show tonight. Yeah, don't forget that. And I did forget to tell everybody to do that. And I think y'all are doing pretty good over there. Yeah, we've got some thumbs up, so that's doing pretty good. But don't forget to do the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that little bell up there in the corner. That tells you anytime that I have a video or a show has been posted on my site. And then last but not least, don't forget to subscribe. Always like subscribers. So
Me too. Subscribe.
Yeah, and with that,
You know,
I'm posting the
Al
YouTube
has
channel.
been putting your links
Yes.
into the chat out there for people for your Facebook and other stuff. So they're
Great,
being
thank you.
posted.
Hey, Keith,
Anybody out here got any questions?
yeah, we had a question out in the chat for Keith. Is what got you into quilting?
because
I guess you just bought a machine and stuff for yourself.
well, we're down in Houston, which is the big international quilt show, and and I'm the bus driver, so I take her down there, and I'd come to pick her up, and we're walking, going to the bathroom, and there's this beautiful eagle quilt there, and I said, well, Becky, you need to make that for me, and she goes, oh, something, no, that's paper piecing, and I'm not going to do that. And I go, well, I'll do my own.
I said, if you want that quilt, you make it.
So I bought that, and then we go back, and then the next day I go, well, if I'm going to do it, I got to have my own machine.
There you go.
The more
she
tools,
made
the
My
better.
philosophy.
Because I don't have a single sewing machine he could use. Not
No.
one.
Well, again, it's like y'all, you wouldn't let the wife in the shop work until I had my own little room with my little sewing machine.
Yeah.
I don't know. My
And
wife.
then I found out that's one of the hardest ones to do, so I had to buy another one. So that's the one I'm working on now.
Not machine, quilt.
Another quilt, yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Right.
My wife's got her own table saw out in the shop. That's
exactly.
Awesome.
Well, I find my tools come in here every once in a while.
Yeah.
That's
And
not
my wife can swing the nail gun with the best of them. So
Now, and I can ask Jim and Glenna this also. Now, Becky, do you have one of the, what is it, the long arm or long whatever?
Yes, I'll show you. I was working on it today. Let's
Okay.
see.
all good till you hear boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This whole time I'm thinking the long arm is a police agency of some kind.
Yeah, I know. I keep on thinking the long arm of the law,
Yeah,
The
yeah.
long arm ranch.
Yeah, so it's called a long arm because it has, mine has an 18-inch area here to be able to quilt. This is and it's just a frame. My frame is 12 feet long, and it's just a way to be able to easily put on the backing, which is face down, the batting in the middle, and then the quilt top on top. And I'm custom quilting it right now using the robotics in the tablet that's on the machine. So that is the long arm. Yeah, Glenna, what kind do you have? What is that?
I have an APQS Freddy.
Nice.
It's
Nice. Yeah.
I've got a 14-foot long table, and I think mine has a 22-inch throat, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, your room's only 16 foot, so I can see you don't have a lot of room.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of room in here.
What software do you run on yours?
This is the Quilt Butler that's on the tablet. It is an Android tablet running a Linux operating system, and then that is the Q Stitch that's on there from the Quilt Butler. I've got the camera. I'm looking at let me do this again so we can put this right. That way you guys I can look at you all while the camera's up above the computer. And it's a hybrid system. So the way I bought it was I got a Grace 12-foot frame, the Phoenix frame. I'm using the King Quilter Special Edition, which it is really an old Tin Lizzie, which is a very old company. They went out of business a couple, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, if that. And then it has the Quilt Butler on it, which is a hybrid, and it's designed to go onto any machine that has the smarts so that it can do stitch regulation. So you can put that tablet pretty much on any sewing machine or long arm. If you're going, and I think my total investment on this was about like $15,000 or so just for that. But when you go to what Glenna's got, that was just at the time when I bought it was way out of reach for me. And but now I've got this thing and I'm used to it, and
Yeah.
we have a love-hate relationship. But
I understand that.
Yeah. So, but I do spend most of my time on my channel doing machine embroidery. Matter of fact, right before we started here this evening, I was shooting a video. So a lot of what I'll do is I work with a digitizing company, specifically like Designs by Juju. She's out in New Hampshire, Julie, and she's got this huge site where she sells all these designs, and then I get the design, and then I show how to make it up. And I'm working with a couple of online fabric companies who will make kits, fabric kits, to make the project. So my viewers are getting the design from Designs by Juju. They're getting the fabric from these other companies, or they can use their own. And then they get a free tutorial from me. So that's kind of how I've built the channel, and it's working great. It's working great. And my niche is really the beginner embroiderer who is not real sure what to do with their machine. So
awesome.
That's kind of
now, do you sell the stuff that you make, like your quilts and stuff? Do you sell them on?
I don't. I donate my quilts for fundraisers. I donate them to CASA, which is a nonprofit here in Texas for foster kids that are in the system. I've got quilts that I've given to quilt stores that support that. So no, I don't sell my work. I never have. But I don't do what I would call show quality quilts either. I do utility quilts. The quilts that I make are the kind of quilts that that anybody can make.
They keep you warm at night.
They keep you warm, that you drag into the truck to go, look at the stars or whatever. The quilt, I made a huge quilt for my son, and he sent me a picture of them having a picnic out in the mountains in Colorado, and they were all sitting on that quilt, which is perfect. I want them to be used like that. So I'm not a show quality quilter. That's not my thing.
All I know is this ain't how Grandma used to do it.
No, it is not. No, it is not. It is not.
Do you enjoy doing the videos and editing, or not so much? That part of it?
Yeah. So the editing takes the longest. To do a 20-minute video will take me a good 4 to 5 hours of editing to get that done, because nobody wants to watch a video where the needle's just going up and down. You've got to think about these people don't have a lot of time. Some do, but for the most part, you want to keep their attention. And so you get right to it, you get into it, and then if the stitch is going to run 4.5 minutes, it takes a total of 10 seconds, where you see it start and you see it stop, and there's a fade in and out in between and all that. So yeah, and I enjoy it. The Air Force had me doing not tutorials. What were they? Computer-based training to make training for Department of Defense as a civilian after I had retired from the Air Force, and I was using the old Macromedia Flash. And so that's where I cut my teeth on video editing, was doing that kind of stuff. Now, and then it got bought by Adobe, and I don't know what's going on with it now, but I use Filmora's Wondershare. Filmora by Wondershare, something like that. That's my video editing software. I do it all on my laptop. So I shoot the videos with the Sony Handycams, and I've got 2. I have one that I usually will talk to when I'm sitting here at the cutting table, just yakking away. And then I'll have one that is on a small tripod on the cutting table itself, where I can put close-ups of quilt patterns or fabric or anything like that, so that people can see what I'm talking about.
Great. We have Russ Meadows is out there, Brian Warner, which Brian Warner's been over on Facebook, but he said he has to go. He has company that showed up, and I hate when that happens. Anyway, especially it depends on who the company is. If it's certain company, I pretend I'm not at home. So anyway,
my God.
Leonard's out there. Lynn Handcrafted Wood Signs. Just going through real quick and seeing who else has showed up. I think I said Russ Meadows, and I know Donna Woodard. James Parker's out there. So appreciate all y'all watching. If y'all have any questions, we are monitoring the chat, so feel free to ask. I know James wanted to know what kind of lathe he's had, and that was the small jet lathe. Chris Nealon is out there also. Anybody on the chat got any more questions?
I've got one. If you guys were to suggest an entry-level machine, what would you suggest to me?
So are you talking about for regular just sewing or machine
For
embroidery?
For embroidery, I'm sorry.
So I can certainly give you I'm a fan of Brother. I think Brother machines give you the best bang for the buck. What I will tell you is you want to buy the most machine that you can afford. You want to buy a machine where you've got a technician nearby. You want to get a machine that uses at least a 6x10 hoop. 5x7 is okay, but the majority of projects that people are doing now are closer to the 6x10. And then you want one that takes a USB drive so that you can, wireless is better, but USB, because now you can transfer designs from the computer directly to the machine wirelessly. Brother has come out with a design database transfer that allows you to do that, to get rid of those little USB sticks. The technology that's out there in these things now is just incredible. And it's not, like when we were talking before the show, Keith said he wanted to do it just to make embroidery on shirts like this. Well, the embroidery that you do on shirts, I know that's real cool corporate stuff, but my niche is the home embroiderer who wants to make placemats for the dining room table and wall hangings for Christmas. And the machine embroidery design industry has just exploded with so many creative things that you can do. It's not like it was. I mean, now it is fun, and there's so much going on. It's incredible. Behind me right here on that, you can see the red, the Valentine's with the X and the O on there. That's a table topper from a company called Kimberbell. They are headquartered out of Logan, Utah. And Kimberbell makes so many things, bench pillows, and their just you name it, they're making it. And Keith and I actually got to go through their warehouse last summer. We drove all the way up to Idaho and we stopped in Logan and took a tour of their entire operation, and it's amazing.
I bet that was fun.
But see, Al, you spoke and she's locked up.
I know she did.
Al, you scared
By the
us
way,
today.
As soon as you
my
said something,
voice-
she's locked up.
My voice is distorted. I don't know if you can hear that.
Yeah. Several people have been asking about Brenda, and I mean, I'm not sure exactly what's going on with her right at this moment.
I'm here.
Okay,
Then
but
you're back.
I haven't been. Usually, I try to talk to her during the week and find out how she's doing because she's been sick. But this week, me and my wife have been sick, so I really haven't been able to reach out to her as like I normally do. But I assure you, she's probably sick. Otherwise, she'd be here tonight. But I'll try to reach out to her tomorrow and see how she's doing. I know she did do her show with Matt Haas Thursday night, and she's looking a little peaked. I noticed when I saw her because I was available. Since we've had COVID, our woodworking club meets on Thursday nights, the first Thursday night. But due to the fact that I had COVID and then my wife has had COVID, I didn't want to go and infect them. And they say 10 days, 5 days, 13 days. Heck, I don't know. They got me so confused about how many days to wait around. But anyway, and she was on her show. But I did notice she looked a little peaked. She's not got her color's not good, so to speak. So I know she's been sick, bless her heart. But I will reach out to her and find out how she's doing tomorrow. What was there a question anybody wanted to ask, or do you have another question?
Becky,
Alan?
I got a question for you. How many different machines do you have at the house there, and why do you name them after our gang character?
How many machines? So in my room right now, I have 2 machines that are for they're sewing specialty machines. There's a cover stitch and a serger. Those are the only ones that are specific for garment sewing. I was into garment sewing for a long time before I got into machine embroidery and quilting. And then I have the Brother Luminaire. I have the Brother NQ 3700D. That's a great machine if you want to get one. It's wonderful. That's the travel machine that goes with us in the motorhome. I have the Brother PQ 1500, which is my piecing machine. I have the Brother PR 1055. That's Spanky. That's the 10 needle. I had made a post in our Facebook group, and I said, "Look what came home with me," or something. And one of my viewers, or one of the people in the Facebook group, put a little GIF of Spanky going, "Wow," like that. And I was asking for names for the machine. And then when I saw that GIF, I was like, that is exactly what I think about that machine. So that is Spanky. And then since he is Spanky, then the Luminaire is Darla.
So
And
no
this
buckwheat?
machine right here.
Oh, I love the color on that thing.
Featherweight.
Okay, you gotta
Look at that.
turn it
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Can you make that big, please? Make it
thanks.
big.
Thanks, Keith, because now Glenna wants one.
Yes.
Yeah. So this right here is a Singer Featherweight 221. And there is a viewer of mine that lives in North Carolina. And she messaged me and she said, "Would you be interested in this machine?" And it's got, the flag of Texas painted on it. And we live in Texas. And she said, "I want to gift it to you." And I'm like, "Are you serious?" And she said, "Yeah." She said she needs to come home. So she sent her to me, and I looked her up. Her birthday was August 13, 1950. And this right here was sent to me. Let me pull this out. This was sent to me from a lady named Barbara. This is actually, it's got a little end on it right here. This was made on a laser printer. and it is designed to go with this machine specifically. She has it on hers, and it's got a little hole in it there. And so you put it there so you can get a sideways feed on this.
Cool,
So this is
cool.
not original to the machine, obviously. But yeah, and I named this machine Miss Texas because she's a beauty queen.
Now this
love the
machine
colors.
also, this is what they gave the women,
The WAFs.
the WAF.
Yeah,
WAF,
Women Air
wax.
Force.
They would have it, it came in a box. This one, she brought, gave us the box. This is what they took over there, and they would sew patches on the uniforms and taught
Oh,
women how to
okay.
sew in the military.
Yep.
Of course, it wasn't painted like Texas.
Yeah, the original on that would be the black with the gold pinstriping, like it used to be. So, yeah, that is a treasure. That is definitely a treasure, and I've sewn on it, and she works great. So, it's a blessing. And so that machine, I'll show you. I have a corner. I'll just turn this around here. I have a corner of my room that has. There's my military shadow box that Keith made for me. That's my
Oh,
little
cool.
patriotic corner. And that's where Miss Texas lives, on a shelf. And I was just shooting a video there at the Brother Luminaire, doing a little placemat. This is a ironing station that is actually, it's a 4-letter word in my house, but it's a dresser from a store that makes a lot of furniture. I'm not going to say it. But I had Keith make a larger top. You want to show him how to the top? I'm tethered to the computer, guys. So the top actually comes off. See that? And I needed a top. I'm sorry. I needed a top that was big enough to be able to iron out a fat quarter flat. So, and a fat quarter is a half yard that's been cut in half. And then let me get back over here. Over here, there is against the wall, that's the Brother NQ3700D. That is a combo sewing and embroidery machine, my travel machine. And then my piecing machine is back there underneath Oreo, my cow. And would you believe that cow is a fabric panel? It is not a painting. But that's the piecing machine under there. And then the 10 needle is, sorry about the light. The 10 needle is right there. That is Spanky. That's the Brother.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's,
So no buckwheat?
wireless. And then you can see the Power Tools with Thread sign there, the wooden one. Keith has a glow forge and he likes to play with it.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And then
Amazing.
right here, let me move the light. Keith is going to show you. This is a Brother scan and cut. And this is a custom piece of furniture he made for me. And the scan and cut comes, the scan and cut has mats. And one of the mats is 24 inches long. And so I needed a cubby that was 24 inches long at least to be able to hold all my mats. And then I have baskets under here. I'm not a vinyl crafter or a paper crafter, but I do cut fabric with the scan and cut for applique. So I do have some vinyl, and I just put those under here like this. That's where these stay. And then the machine itself, this whole thing is on wheels, so I can put it wherever I need it. And he created these wings back here. Okay, so it stores like this. And that's the way it stores. And then when I'm going to use it, I lift up this and fold these out. And I just love this because as the mat travels, this is a cutting machine. It's much different than a Cricut or a Silhouette because it has a scanning ability to be able to scan in a paper pattern. And so as the mat travels through it and it comes out the back and goes all the way, I needed something to hold the mat so it didn't drop and fall. So that's a custom piece that Keith made for me. I absolutely love it. People ask me all the time, where'd you get it? And he's not willing to make another one or make plans for it. So if any of you want that niche, you can have it. And then the other custom piece of furniture he made for me. I'm going to turn the camera around again. Is this cutting table right here. And I'm going to show you guys. So this cutting table, I'm 5'8.5". They pile it high in Texas. And I needed a cutting table that was not, I didn't have to bend over. I needed something that was high enough for me. And then I wanted something that was split level on the top. So this is where I keep my rulers, my flat rulers that I use all the time. Anything I reach for frequently, they're in here. I've got rotating mats that I keep in here, that kind of thing, and anything I've got going on that I'm working on. And then my cubbies, of course, will hold like stabilizers that I reach for all the time, and then fabric that I might be using. Kits I've got working, anything. Again, and it's on wheels as well. And then it's got area over here for my Cricut iron presses, and then other fabric. But the nice thing about this one, so this top is 36 by 72, right? And the nice thing about it is this lips, that's going to fall if I lift it. I don't want that to fall down. Yeah. So this actually lifts up and off. So that you can actually turn it, take it off, turn it sideways and get it through a door. Because if you wanted to move it, you would have to do that. And I'm working with a company right now. This is a full-size mega mat on my table, and I'm working with a company right now to make a custom mat for me. This is a self-healing cutting mat. And it'll have my logo on it and all of that, and I will
Becky?
Put their logo on it as well.
Becky?
Yes, sir.
What is that on top of the mat?
This is a tailor's tool. Keith made this for me as well.
Yes.
And
very nice.
Yeah, it is. It's gorgeous. And this
I made one of those 2
points.
weeks ago. That's why I noticed that. Very nice.
So this is a clapper, and that's a tailor's press. It is untreated wood, so that you iron with steam and you press this down, and it will make a crease that will never ever come out. And then this is to go in collar points right here. You can get any kind of, you're supposed to iron on this part of it right here.
Yes.
And you iron this, and then the handle, it's all smooth and soft, and it's wonderful. He made this.
It looks like
several years
Keith,
ago.
that looks like oak. Is that oak you made that out of?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, it looked like oak.
Very nice. Very nice. I like it.
Oh, it's lovely. Yeah.
All right, let's get back.
Okay, we're getting back.
Great.
So that's the tour around the room. And then I didn't show you my desk where I spend most of my time editing videos and answering comments to videos and Facebooking and that kind of thing. Because that's a whole big piece of it as well, as being accessible to your viewers and, you know, giving them a thumbs up or some love and all of that. That's a big part of it, because, you know, when people see you on TV, they feel like they know you, and they want you to, they're talking to you through their comment. And, you know, the least I can do for them watching is to let them know that I read it and I enjoyed it, or respond back if they ask a question or something like that. So
cool.
Full-time job.
The brother, what'd you say that was this MK 700 or M whatever 700?
NQ 3700.
MQ 3700. What is the price
Nancy.
on that one?
Nancy.
What is the price on that one?
I think retail, that's about 5,000.
Yeah.
Right. And that's because it has wireless capabilities. It has a 6x10 hoop. I would encourage anybody, if they are going to get into machine embroidery at all, that is a phenomenal machine to start with, because it's on the cutting edge of where Brother is going for all of their their wireless capabilities and that type of thing. Glenna wants a machine.
No, I get, yeah. I mean, I'm talking to her like 5,000. We just spent 30 for this thing. I'm thinking we finally found a craft that's more expensive than a lathe.
Yeah.
You know, because like lathe tools cost a small fortune, and now you're like, oh, that machine's $5,000, and this thing is $3,000, and
That's what
all
happens
money.
when you got a good looking shop. That's what happens when you see something.
I have a single
My
needle.
mother
But you
mother
have to
was
look
a
at it
teacher.
this way. Okay, you have to look at it this way. Brother offers, they get with Synchrony and offer 0% financing all the time for 5 years. That's free money. You know, it's $100 a month. I mean, Keith can drink $100 a month.
that's my boy.
Jim, we know who
Oh,
signed
so
you,
what
Glenn.
you're saying is he's having to give up his beer money for you to have the brother.
No,
Not gonna
you
happen.
have to find a balance, right? You
No,
know,
good thing about me doing woodworking, she knows what I have tools wise,
yeah.
and we don't ever argue over the price of tools.
Or the boat.
Today, her son wanted a what's the big roller sander?
Drum sander.
Drum sander.
Drum sander. Yeah.
You know, because he's doing so many of those and he's starting to produce them. And I said, listen, I'll pay half on it. I said, don't get the cheap one. You know, he's already been eyeing one. And, you know, it's $1,500. I go, our company will pay for half of it. You can pick up the other half. But now he'll have the drum sander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim, I'm sure you can cut fabric with that laser back there.
Oh yeah, I mean this thing it certainly is going to cut fabric. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
I'll
kinda-
tell you, that is a whole thing. There is a quilt shop that's in southern Idaho. And what they do is, Idaho, we were up there. What they do is you've got these applique quilts where you'll have a block that's got an applique on it. So it's fabric on top of fabric that you sew down. And this lady, what she does is fascinating. She takes a picture of the paper pattern that comes with the quilt with her phone, right? And then she sends it up to the Google Drive. And then she gets on her computer and she uses Inkscape to take the magic wand all around all of the pieces on the paper pattern. Then she saves it and sends it to the folder on the Google Drive that their other people are accessing. They pull that file down, convert it into their laser. They've got two big giant laser cutters side by side. These are the big, the big commercial ones. And they're doing nothing. So they take fabric and they pre-treat it with heat bond on the back of the fabric and lay it out in that thing. And it just cuts all of those pieces. And then they sell the quilt kit with the pre-cut laser pieces.
Yep.
And if Glenna, I know you've seen pre-cut laser quilt kits. They are expensive.
Yes, they
because
are.
they've done all the work for you, which is why I have the scan and cut. I use the scan and cut to scan in the paper pattern and have it cut for me. And then there's another piece of software that's out there called Simply Applique. And what it does is it will take the cut file from the scan and cut and turn that into an embroidery file with just the click of one button. And I teach that on my channel, and it has opened up an entire whole new world of being able to make really cool things on quilts. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. And people are like, what are you talking about? What? And then they go buy the scan and cut and they buy the machines and they get all this stuff. And they're like, I'm going broke because of you.
Yeah, I mean, this laser, if you use Lightburn software with it, you can put a camera on the laser and have it scan the picture into it. And it's kind of like if you've got that Glowforge, it's pretty much the same thing, Keith.
We have not delved into that Glowforge as much as we could at all. We're still, it's like he got the Glowforge right at the beginning of the channel about 2.5 years ago. And we've only gotten as far as just making little key tags and hit, a sign like that. Doing like Russ, what you did with making that kind of design with the stars and the flag and the fireman, that's way out of our league for that. We're not, we're nowhere near there because because that takes time to play with and figure it out and test. And all. We don't have that kind of time because
Right.
the channel just is it's a lot. So
A couple of things. Somebody, Aussie man wants to know: is your shop always that neat, or did you clean before the show?
my shop is always this neat. Always.
Cool.
Yeah, we won't show you my shop.
No,
Yeah, we
you
won't.
can't see his. You don't want to see his rooms. No.
No,
you
his
don't wanna
shop
see
is
my
fine, people. Don't even. It looks just like the
Okay.
rest of our shops. Don't even do
Yeah,
that.
Paul's messy workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
You don't
the
want to
last
see my shop either. And then Deanna, it's her name is Rego.
Rego.
Regal.
Rego.
Regu.
Regu.
Your
Anyway,
guess
she
is
said
good as mine. Bagel.
top of the line machines are over $20,000. Yeah.
yes.
Well, Glenna, y'all paid $20,000 or $40,000 for
30,
that long arm, right?
31 grand for this one. But
Yeah.
it came with the software, and the software was
Right.
actually pretty expensive. By the time you put it on a Microsoft tablet and stuff, the software is probably a third of the machine cost.
Right.
Well, that's
right.
That's kind of
Yeah,
the same way.
the Brother Luminaire new retails at 20, and then the 10 needle is retailing. And I'm guessing, you guys, I'll throw this out there. I don't pay retail for my machines because I promote a dealer. And so the dealer and I work together so that, he realizes how expensive advertising is. And I'm bringing viewers directly, I'm bringing customers directly to him. He let me know they have a huge, ginormous Brother booth at the Houston Quilt Festival. And he let me know that then last October, he said it used to be that they got their customers, they got a third of them from Google search. They got a third of them from direct URL input where people are going in and actually typing in their www name. And then a third of it was maybe from a Facebook or a YouTube where people linked in. And he said that since I started promoting, it's almost 70% of their traffic now is coming from direct URL input.
That's great.
And they can tell that in the analytics. It's like 67%. It's crazy. And I said, well, that's because I'm telling people about you. And now he can't sell machines anywhere but Louisiana and Texas, but he can sell ScanNCuts all over the country, all over the world. He can sell software and all of that. So I've aligned myself with national prominent name brands of machine embroidery accessories and machines and that type of thing. You wouldn't believe, and I'm sure you guys too, if you've got channels on YouTube, you get approached all the time by people who want you to market their trash. And I won't do it. I won't do it. If it's not something I would use myself, I don't tell my users about it at all.
Hey, Becky, can I ask you a question about your embroidery machine? Do you ever try to take any patterns or anything into a computer and trace them and all that stuff and then load them into something that would make an EPS file out of them to use on an embroidery machine?
Right. So that's exactly what I was talking about with the ScanNCut. So I can take a paper. I can take a paper. Now I don't draw, but I can trace. Sure. Yeah. For instance, on this pattern right here. I can't do that.
Okay.
So here's Quilt Diva, and she's a really involved applique pattern. Okay. Quilt Diva is. It's a big, long, tall, lots and lots of pieces. And I can scan in each page into the ScanNCut. And then the ScanNCut makes, it's called an FCM file, which is a cut file that was developed by Microsoft.
Okay.
And that's why the FCM file only imports into PCs. And so the software is simply applique. So once the ScanNCut, I upload the file from the ScanNCut to the Brother Canvas website, and then I download that, or I can take it by USB, either one. If I'm going to manipulate the file at all, I prefer to do it on the website. And then it comes down, and on the laptop, I import it into Simply Applique. and I arrange the pieces exactly like I want, so that the piece on the back is first, and then those other applique pieces build on top of it. So to
Oh, she locked up.
Yep.
Lindsay out there in the chat says she wants a Brother Luminaire.
Don't we all?
Yeah. Yep. Deanna Rigaud said she wants one too. So
I just want to know someone who has one.
yeah,
Lindsay says Becky's a good seller.
Okay,
He's back.
Becky does.
she's
At least
back.
Keith is.
Jim, to answer your question, though, it doesn't digitize. I mean, it does digitize to a certain extent, but
Yeah.
it's not digitizing software.
Well, Glenny uses in Brilliance.
Yeah,
And
that's
then,
the
you
same
know,
thing.
yeah, but it makes an EPS file for her machine she can use it on. So I didn't know if you guys took just pictures and loaded them up and tried it, because that takes a long time to go ahead and do each layer with each color and all that stuff like that. Or do you just buy patterns and that's it, you know?
We pay people to do that.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
All right, we're getting right down to the end of the show. When Becky gets back, we have. Well, I can ask Keith too. Keith,
Yeah.
we at the end of the show we have what we call woodshop confessions. Well, now it's going to be sewing and embroidery confessions. But you got a woodshop. But tell us something out there in your shop that you did that after you did it, you went like, "Why in the heck did I do that?" And dismemberment, blood, you know, all that kind of stuff. That's really good. But you know. I'll give an example. One day I was shooting a piece of 3/4 inch wood and was holding it in my hand, and the nail was 1.5 inches long. So, you know, stuff like that.
See, I still have all 10 fingers, so
I got mine too.
those off.
Yep.
You know, but my biggest thing, like you said, is I'll cut it. You know, the old deal: measure it twice, cut it once. I have to get in a hurry too many times. That's why I don't like to follow patterns, because if I mess something up, the whole project gets a little smaller.
Yep.
So, I'm not.
But
a
have you ever
professional cutter.
But have you ever done something to hurt yourself? I mean,
Well, what we call it now, a buddy of mine just this other weekend, I don't just cut myself. Yeah, I found out a router goes at 3,000 RPM, doesn't slow down for your finger.
No.
oh,
But yeah, but now, and I'm not saying at our age, all we're doing, you know how it used to be, you could scrape something and it wouldn't hurt, or I mean, you wouldn't bleed. I guess now at my age, I leak a lot.
yeah,
That's
yeah. I
good.
can just. I'm getting to the point that I can bump into something and then it will. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't even
I'm
feel it.
having that problem too. Well, Keith, bless you, so that you won't have any more accidents in your shop. And then, Becky, we got to get you too. So, what kind of sewing accidents can you tell us about? Like, have you ever jammed a needle through your finger or anything like that?
no,
Oh,
Becky,
that is
thanks.
nice.
no,
Be
I
like
never
Becky.
did eat my finger.
She has a roller cutter. Those things are
Oh,
so
yeah.
sharp.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Those things
I've
are
run-
dangerous.
Yeah, I've and usually my cuts on the rotary cutter are not running over my finger. It's having the rotary cutter on the table, and I leave the blade toward me instead of away from me, and I'll just barely
Ouch.
graze it with my hand, if
yeah.
So I'm more meticulous now, where I'm not like that, where you slice your finger.
Yeah.
That was last week.
What did you do? Yeah,
I think those things are the sharpest things in the world.
it's amazing.
Man.
But it's a clean cut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is. It is.
I was
Yeah,
on the
it's-
channel a couple weeks ago, and I had a Band-Aid on my thumb, and somebody asked me, "What did you do?" And I actually reached into a soapy sink and grabbed accidentally a hold of a slicer blade for what was it, the food processor.
Ooh, yeah, those
Nice
are
clean
sharp.
cut, and I'm yelling, "Ah!"
Yeah. Well, now if you catch it quick enough, what I do is I squeeze it together and have my wife put super glue over it.
Yep.
Yeah, I was all wet. That was a mess. It
No, I
was
have her
fun.
put super glue on it and hold it until the super glue dries, and then I put a Band-Aid over that, and within 24 hours, it's healed.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Well, duct
All
tape
right.
will do it.
Duct tape. That's right.
Yeah, duct tape. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've been out on the job and used a dirty rag and masking tape before. Trust me.
Yeah.
Anything will work.
Yeah. Hey, a little bit of dirt in it ain't gonna hurt nothing. It'll make you stronger. So, all right, guys, we're about ready to cut out of here. Thank you, Becky, for being on, and Keith. We appreciate both of y'all being on
Thank
tonight.
you for having us.
Right.
I hope we didn't bore you too badly.
No.
We had a ton of questions and stuff.
I learned that there's one thing more expensive than my lathe and tools, which is embroidery and quilting and sewing. Yes, that's a lot more expensive. Heck, I only paid $3,000 for my lathe. So
Well, you can't take it with you, and why leave it to your kids?
Yeah, really. Yeah,
You gave me some flashbacks. My mother was a seamstress and ran contract sewing place and all that. And while you were going around in your shop, I could just smell the fabric.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she didn't show you her room of, these quilters. You saw a little bit of her material. She had the whole room of material.
My
that
mama
I
had a shed. Daddy had a shed for the tools. Mama had a shed for fabric.
One of the most important things I learned in this show is I get to spend a lot more money on tools.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
No,
It's always,
not doing
it's
that
always
stuff.
the fact I never tell my wife the full price. I always tell her for something else that I bought it for.
Mama
No,
never
actually,
told Daddy the full price of them sewing machines either.
It's amazing how much they've gone up. It's crazy how much they've gone up, because what you see in Walmart, those little $200 jobs, no.
Yeah.
They're way different than that. And I, using my brothers, I'm on the low end price wise of the machines that are out there. I do not want to afford a Bernina. That's,
Wow.
or a baby lock. That's big.
Yep.
And thank you, Becky and Keith. I appreciate it. And also thank you, Glenna, for being on tonight.
You're welcome. It was fun.
It's
Yeah,
nice
it
to
was.
see you in person, Glenna. Good. I'm glad you invited us. So this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah. We might have you back again someday if you're wanting to come back on.
When you're out of, your last resort and you're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
No, we used to do, mainly woodworking. Then we went to woodworking and making, and we're branching out. You start running out of people. I've been doing this now for 8 years.
Wow.
So we run about 50 shows, give or take, 48 sometimes some years, but just average it out to say 50 shows a year. So that's over 400 shows that I've done in 8 years. So you start running out of people. So you have to reach out. But the fascinating thing that we're learning about this, for instance, I learned so much tonight. My wife does sewing and stuff. She's not, a big person, and she has a Cricut, but you learn so much about other things that you, for instance, quilting and embroidering stuff that you probably would have never learned had you not come on the show.
Yep.
So,
It's
but really
Well,
great.
in fact, a lot of us here in the panel have like CNCs and lasers and 3D printers and stuff. And, sometimes the show can kind of like migrate to that. But,
Yep.
The more you can get different kind of people that make things out there, the more you can get people to be interested in things. So
Yeah, also, you pick up little things that'll add to your tool chest of skills and knowledge. So
right.
and
They're all
it's
cool.
amazing.
They help.
I'll joke
It's
about the
amazing how much
CNCs all the time, but I do pick up little things here and there.
It's amazing how much the sewing industry uses, I will call it cousins of that technology that you guys are using.
Yeah.
It's all related.
The same idea. They've just moved it over to needles and thread is what they've done.
Right.
All right. Thank y'all all for being out there in the chat. Some people are over there in Facebook, and appreciate y'all for being out there too. Deanna Rigaud has been out there. Leonard Davis, Donna's Wood Art, Aussie Man.
And
All
he
y'all
even
out
said he
there.
learned something.
Yeah.
He
Yep,
said he
they
learned
actually learned.
what a
They
quilt
are
was.
saying they learned something.
Actually learn what a quilt is. Don't you call it a blanket? Oh no,
Nope, it's not a blanket.
It's not a blanket.
not a blanket.
It's not a blanket. Nope, it's not a blanket. And Donna's Word Art said, don't forget the thumbs up. Yep, I like thumbs up. Thank you very, very much. Listen, we're about to cut out of here. Again, thank you, Becky and Keith. And also thank you, Al, Donald, Paul, Chris, Jim, and Dixon for being on tonight. And I will check on Brenda tomorrow and find out how she's doing. So listen, if you're too darn busy to get out in your shop and make some sawdust, by George, you're just too darn busy or you're lazy, one of the two. So get out in your shop and make some sawdust. Just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. And God bless.
Go sell something.
And
Oh,
remember,
you don't have to sign off right away, Becky.
and
Don't,
remember,
you don't have to sign off right away, Becky.
you
Go ahead,
don't-
Chris.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
What he said.
Move along.
What he
Get your
said.
drinks. Oh,
Oh,
let it back, let it
You
back,
didn't hear
let
it.
it
You already cut out.
Yeah,
Good night,
she-
everybody.